All right. Here we are. The beginning of Vanlyfe Season 2.
Yeah.
You all waited for it. And here it is. Wednesday, February 17th, 7:41 p.m. And we're in the van. And we're in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. That's not as cute.
Alright. It's funny, though.
That is funny. Is that from something? Is it like the land before time?
No.
Allie's looking at some dog stuff.
Not much has changed.
Nope. But man.
But everything has changed.
Yeah, what a whirlwind of bullshit, but also cool shit.
Yeah.
We have a lot to catch up on.
When was the last clip we made? When we got the U-Haul?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it was. When we were about to drop off the U-Haul the next day.
Well, let me take a look real quick.
It was like our summary of
the
Florida Trail.
Yeah, it was the Florida Trail debriefing. Yeah, so it was actually, I think, in my parents' house. So, that was quite a few days ago. About a week, I think.
Oh, at least, yeah.
At least.
At least.
Certainly not at most. And we pretty much left immediately for Pennsylvania.
Yeah?
We did see my parents. We saw my mom. We saw my dad. Picked up the van. Biked. We got our bikes. We packed up the van. We did a bunch of stuff in Lilburn so that we could go up to Pennsylvania, traveling kind of light. No water in the tank. It's been really, really cold. And Allie, she's been on a roll of making good points.
Yeah.
And our water tank is empty, which at this point might be a bit of a kerfuffle. Not really, we have plenty of water.
Really.
But we can fast forward a bit just to give some context to where we are and why right now.
Oh my god.
So we're broken down in a auto shop repair place.
Mr. Tire.
Mr. Tire.
Of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania.
If you have a problem and you're in this area, you should come here. That's what I'm going to say on the review. We
did twice.
Yep. Yeah. So we had a second wheel bearing go out.
Our problem is their problem because they didn't fix our problem. Yeah,
and it'll be interesting to see. I do want to quickly try to figure out when the other wheel bearing went out. So that would have been Vanlyfe Season 1.
October, maybe? November?
It was one of those two. Because we got both wheel bearings replaced in September 9th of 2020 to be exact.
At Midas of Mount Pocono.
Don't recommend.
They are liars, scammers, and will give your car parts that will break in approximately 4 to 6 months.
They give your car
catastrophic breaks.
Gives you
that's why we're here.
auto aids. They give you automobile acquired immunodeficiency. How can I see this picture where it was? There's a way to do this, I know, but as you can see, that was the first one. We're looking at a picture of our first wheel bearing.
So that was the driver's side.
Yeah, it was, and that's the spindle right there.
Wow, so clean, so nice.
Yeah, they did a good job cleaning it and icing it. And so, strangely, we were about 3 hours into our drive today, and then we heard and felt a familiar and...
I did.
Yeah.
I heard something.
She's on a roll.
My music. I was like, something's wrong. And you're like, it's probably just the road. I was like, no, dude, that sounds exactly like the wheel bearing.
I was hoping it was just the road.
Does that have the location on it?
I was trying to look for that.
Oh. I think it was like Texas or New Mexico.
Yeah, well, I have it. It was October 22nd. Do you have any pictures from October 22nd? Did you even have that phone?
I don't know. No, I didn't.
Dang.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't, but it's just interesting for context in terms of the sequence of events.
With these breakdowns.
Yeah.
They can potentially be like seriously hazardous and catastrophic.
We could die.
We could have died.
And we could kill somebody
twice.
else because our wheel could have flung off at 70 miles an hour and gone.
So basically what happens is just like, I don't know all of the mechanic stuff, but from my limited knowledge, it's just like this clunking noise, and then all of a sudden the van shifts a little bit, which I guess is like the bearings officially pooping out.
Yeah.
And does the spindle fall onto the rim or something?
Kinda, yeah. All the weight of the tire, instead of resting
on the bearings, it's like on the rim itself.
It's on the spindle.
On the spindle,
which is why the spindle was kind of torn up.
Grinding metal, like,
it sounds
terrible clunking. You can hardly turn, you can hardly brake.
Yeah, it's very scary.
And here we are, like, going 70 miles an hour. We hear those noises. We're like, oh, that's weird. We pulled over, pulled off the cap.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Our hearts sank. It was bad.
I would say we're experts on diagnosing wheel bearing failure at this point.
Yeah.
Both in terms of what it looks like and what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
And so, thankfully, we were only a mile and a half away from this repair shop. But I swear that mile and a half took 15 minutes.
Oh, at least.
And my heart...
We couldn't go over, like, 15 miles an hour.
It's terrifying. It feels terrible. And just listening to the previous auto people, and whenever we were in Texas or whatever it was, they were saying that, when we got to their shop back in October, they said, you were this close away, and I'm showing a very small fraction of an inch with my two fingers, from the wheel just falling off.
Yeah.
And so that goes through my mind when we're dealing with this today. And I honestly couldn't even drive the car. Like, Allie had to drive the van, and I had to literally run next to it to keep up.
24 hours, just so we know.
Oh, okay. That is good.
Yeah, I kind of felt good about that because I felt like I took responsibility and did what we both did. We did what we had to do to
You helped
there.
share the load.
Yeah.
Because
I didn't feel just, like, useless sitting in the passenger seat. I was like, I know you're freaking out about this.
I was.
Let me drive. You can just watch from the outside, run alongside the van.
Yeah.
Flip off people that are mad at us for going slow, which no one did, fortunately. But we were on a pretty bad road. I mean, we started on the highway.
We were on 81
on the
south.
shoulder, and we just, like, crawled up the shoulder into the exit ramp.
Yeah, it was bad.
And then down this super busy main road with all these shops and shit.
Yeah. This is a good place to break down. If you're going to break down, aim for Chambersburg.
Chambersburg, PA.
Yeah. They got a Sheetz. We got some beers.
Man.
But, yeah, I mean, I was trying to just run alongside the car so that I could see if the wheel really started to kind of come out of the housing and the hinges, and just so I could be like, stop.
Yeah.
Because, man, when it's kind of...
It sounds so threatening.
Yeah, and it's intermittent, too. It's like, if you try to turn...
Know when it's gonna happen.
It's not... you can't clock it.
Yeah.
So that was good for you to help me out with that, because I was freaking out. And...
You were like, I can't do this. I have to go outside.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you going to do? You're just looking at the wheel. I guess, but yeah, we just crept here. It was so slow, but fortunately, like we said, it was only a mile and a half, 2 miles.
Yeah.
And we made it. And we pulled in.
Yeah.
And they got us right in the shop.
Yeah.
And they were like, we got you. And we're like, great. So we sat in the shop for about an hour and a half, hour 45.
Watched some quality television.
About people, like, making metal things.
Making knives, and then we also...
and the history of Pizza Hut.
The history of Pizza Hut versus Domino's. Yeah, that was... I can't... You have to put a lot of, like, spin into making that really a drama worth following or being aware of. And I personally felt that they missed the mark.
It's like historical fiction.
Yeah.
It was like people acting out the scenes of what happened on the History Channel.
And I was like, who gives a shit?
No one. It was terrible. And there was, like, a lot of people talking to us. There's this one guy who says this is the best shop in the area. Mm-hmm. And he showed us a video of someone's wheel bearing that they had to get out with a torch.
His
really?
Wheel, yeah.
Wow, that is amazing.
I
didn't care, because then you left, and he started talking to me about it. I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. So then we started talking about the weather, and that was fine. But they said it was a really great shop. The guys were really nice. They did the work, like, they pretty much got us in right away.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was a small chunk of money.
Yeah.
Large chunk of money.
Yeah, $600.
Yeah, which was really sucked.
Yeah.
But they got us out of there by like 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
4:30.
We were committed to continue driving
all
the way to...
we were still hoping to make it to Georgia today.
Yeah. Because there's a terrible ice storm coming.
Yeah. Well, it's snow up here. It's ice down in, like, Virginia and south. It's all ice. 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. But up here, it's 5 to 9 inches of snow.
That's fucking nuts.
So we're going to wake up. It's going to be an interesting couple of days. We'll see what happens.
Yep. And we're probably, I mean, I don't know. It really depends on a lot of things, but we were aiming to be back in Georgia for my mom's birthday. And at this point, that's very much up in the air.
Yeah.
That's the 20th. So we have 3 days to get there. 2 after tomorrow. And
but we didn't talk about what happened after we left.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Okay. Well.
So they showed me that the spindle had been kind of chewed up, presumably by driving on the broken wheel bearing, and they did their best to like sand it down with I don't know, files and emery boards and steel wool and stuff like that to get some of the burrs out. And they took it for a test drive after they got everything put back together. We got some new front brake pads, and we left and we started driving. Everything seemed hunky-dory.
And we just talked about how much of a disaster that could have been, and how dangerous it could have been, and how glad we are to be on the road, and how we still plan to get to Georgia tonight.
And then, knock, 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 fate.
Smash.
Yeah. The same terrible feeling, same terrible sound.
We heard it, we both looked at each other, you're like, is that what I think it is? I was like, that's definitely it.
And I was like,
the same one, too.
Yeah.
They just fixed it.
Yeah.
But they didn't. I don't know what's wrong.
I think I do.
I think it's the spindle?
I think it has to be. Because, you think of, you try to isolate the problem, and, you try to figure out what parts have been added, what parts have been removed, and they replaced the wheel bearings. I assume they greased them. However...
Maybe. You said there was no grease on it.
There was no grease when I took the cap off, which just means it could have evaporated. They might have put...
Can that happen?
Yeah.
Can it just evaporate?
Well,
like with friction?
Yeah. Evaporation is not the right...
Because it was smoking.
It was definitely smoking.
That's insane.
So,
that's so dangerous.
Yeah. So it was... I think that we're going to have to replace the spindle, which is going to be difficult to do because that's not a part that a bunch of people have, especially for a 1994 Dodge Ram B250. But I don't think this is any fault of theirs. I think this is just, we tried to fix the problem and the solution that they offered didn't work exactly. I did give them the go-ahead because they said that getting another spindle would be a difficult process. And so I was like, well, with our other wheel bearing, when that went out, we drove on it longer. It sounded worse, and the spindle wasn't in bad shape, so they put everything back together and it still works. However... This spindle seems like it's in worse shape, and so that's the only thing in that system of parts that seems like it could continue to make an issue. And like the guy in the tow truck was saying, and we'll get to that part too, if you... So we ended up getting a tow. It took us, I think, an hour and some change for the guy to show up.
On the side of the highway with his huge fucking semi-trucks just blowing past us.
Shaking us.
They're gonna crash into the back of us.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen so many wreck videos of motorcyclists running into cars and cars.
It's scary, man. Yeah. The road is a scary place. No matter if you're on foot, if you're on a bike, if you're in a car, you stop and traffic's still moving around you, you are in danger.
Yeah.
And it's terrifying. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate cars.
Yeah.
Even though we live in one.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
It's kind of turning out to be something that is problematic. I wouldn't say it's not worth it, but...
Vanlyfe.
Yeah, we're getting to the point, I think we decided today, repair that is 25% of the price that we paid for the van itself. We might have to start considering other options that are a little bit less mobile.
Yeah, more sustainable.
Yeah.
This is not... All we're doing is pouring money into this van, and we're not getting anything back monetarily. I mean, obviously, we're having great experiences. We have transportation, we have a house, and it's all combined into one. But, I don't know. I feel like
it's stressful.
It is.
Yeah.
And we could get a car for, $10,000 or less, a nice, reliable car that has wheel bearings, and it's not 6,000 pounds, and we can just throw our tent in the back, and we can still do all the traveling we want to.
Yeah.
But we just have to, severely reduce, our living space. We can't cook inside of it. We would have to, it would have to be, a cost-benefit analysis thing.
I mean, but honestly...
But, man, this thing is, it's a tough position to be in right now.
Yeah.
Because we're just giving more and more money, and,
Yeah.
it broke 2 times in one day.
Yeah,
The same thing. We don't know what's wrong with it. It could be a bigger issue that we don't yet know about. Hopefully we'll find out tomorrow and get on the road, but also it's supposed to snow, 5 to 9 inches. Did we say that already? I think we said that already.
Yeah, we mentioned it, yeah.
But yeah, so, like, we also might be stranded here because of the winter storm. And that was on us because we knew it was coming. But that's why we left today, because we didn't envision this happening.
No. You had mentioned it this morning when we left.
Yeah. Oh, I hope nothing happens.
Yeah, because your mom was like, nothing's happened in the van before. And then she was like, oh, wait, no, stuff has happened in the van.
It's like wheel bearing, fuel pump.
Yeah.
Now
pretty serious.
wheel bearing times 3.
Yeah, and we got these wheel bearings. These wheel bearings are less than a year old. They're less than 8 months old.
Yeah.
And so, I mean...
Less than, like, probably 15,000 miles.
Yeah, definitely. And the wheel bearings are supposed to last 75 to, like, 120,000 miles. And so I'm thinking that the Midas technician probably installed them. Yeah, I mean...
A liar. A cheat.
Well... I give him a little bit more credit just because maybe I don't know, maybe that was like the 10th time he's installed wheel bearings or something.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, when I was a bike mechanic, there were a bunch of jobs where I had to ask a bunch of people, like, how to do it properly because I hadn't done it a lot. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, there's a learning curve for everything, but it is unfortunate that... we're in this position now, and it seems like it's because of Midas. And and I said earlier, their slogan is "Trust the Midas touch," but their slogan for us is "Midas will leave you fucked."
Yeah.
Midas leaves you fucked.
Lol.
So.
Do you want to share one for now?
Sure.
What was that noise?
That was a motorcycle, like, downshifting,
really?
I think. Or maybe just a shitty car. But yeah, so we got towed, and the tow truck driver, he was saying that in the past, he seemed pretty mechanically inclined, and he also seemed...
I know, I wish he was working on our car.
Yeah.
Like, or his dead friend.
Yeah, totally.
Lol.
Yeah, he said that he used to know... Peace. Yeah, rip. He knew a guy who he had like a mobile spindle repair unit, and he would drive out and he would add material to your spindle, and then he would shave it down so that you could like machine it back to perfect smoothness. But he was saying that for a trailer, which obviously a trailer doesn't have, needle bearings, tapered needle bearings are created so that you can actually turn. And that's the difference between the bearings in the front versus the bearings in the back. And so there was a trailer that he was talking about which had probably more standard ball bearings that were not tapered and not needle. And he said that some couple had a trailer that was the bearings wouldn't like seat in the spindle, and so he actually tacked it down with some welding, and that kept the bearing stationary so that they could actually so that he said that the problem is probably that the bearings aren't seating properly on the spindle, and then they're starting to spin, and that is causing heat, which is causing friction, which is causing expansion, which is causing the grease to evaporate, and then ultimately once all the grease is gone, which is what happened to us 20 miles down the road, the bearings explode because there's no more lubrication and they're getting really, really hot. So he also mentioned that he had like towed some vans like this recently to a salvage yard or a junk yard or something, and so there might be some spindles just down the road, but getting to it especially through Mr. Tire may not be the most possible option. Although we should see how far away it is, because we could possibly walk there.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're at least stranded here until tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or the day after.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow's the huge storm.
Easily.
And, like...
Easily.
All the warnings are just saying, plan travel accordingly, don't be out on the roads because it's dangerous, and like we don't have any urgent need. Even if they do fix it tomorrow, we don't have any urgent need to be on the road.
Yeah.
And if it's dangerous, we should not be on the road. So
if they fix it tomorrow, I'm not going to be comfortable or satisfied without doing a 20-mile plus test ride.
Oh, well, yeah. But that also can't happen in 5 to 9 inches of snow.
Right.
So I feel like we're going to be here until at least Friday.
Yeah. Sorry, Mom.
We'll see how it all works out. But my parents are only 3 hours away. but I also don't really, like, want to leave the van here.
No.
Unless they say it's going to be, like, 3 or 4 days for them to get the part, then we should consider
could be
options.
longer.
But we also can't get there tomorrow, because tomorrow's the storm.
Mm-hmm.
And roads won't be cleared until, like, probably tomorrow night or even Friday morning. It's supposed to snow all day.
Yeah, and starting at midnight tonight.
Yeah.
So just a few scant hours.
Aside from this, speaking of snow, we should talk about our fun time in Cresco.
Yay!
That we had
Yeah.
this previous week that we haven't podcasted at all.
No.
But it's been really fun. We went skiing.
Yeah, it was awesome.
We enjoyed the snow. We went for a snow hike with micro spikes and waders,
it was
all
awesome.
Outfitted. Yeah, we had a really nice time.
Yeah, you wanted to get up here because there was sort of unprecedented snowfall.
It's a record year. I mean, everyone's saying it's not a record year, but I feel like it's a record year that I remember.
It's a record year enough to where most places don't sell or rent snowshoes. Because they said that it doesn't usually snow that much.
Snow this much.
Did you... Okay, there's another beer. Okay, yeah. I'm okay. Phew.
Lol. So, I don't know when we got to Cresco, but we...
I think it was,
Wednesday?
I think it was Wednesday.
Last week? I don't even know what month it is.
February. February.
So, got there, surprised my parents. It was very cute. Then we went skiing the next day. Mm-hmm. Kenneth's first time.
Yeah. Had a little treat.
Had a little treat to enhance the experience, and it was great.
Mm-hmm.
And we did great. You did great.
Thanks, babe.
I kind of grew up skiing, so I guess I kind of taught you, but I feel like I wasn't very helpful, really.
I think you were.
Kind of like, you just have to, like, put the boots on and do it. Like,
yeah.
I can't really give you any tips.
Yeah.
But you did, and you did great.
Your dad was a little bit more, like...
He explains things better. I'm just like... I know how to do it, so it's pretty easy, so you should do it.
Yeah, I think...
no problem.
Thursday, I think we got there Wednesday to Cresco, and then we went skiing Thursday. And that was our first time. That was my first time.
Yeah.
And we had a good setup, because your dad works at Camelback.
Yeah.
So we basically skied for like $30 between the two of us.
With one pair of rentals.
Yeah.
Which is the only thing that was paid for.
Yeah. So it was a good deal.
Yeah, we spent all day there. We had a really fun time.
Yeah, we were there for like 6 hours.
We did like 26 runs, I think.
Something like that. 10,000 feet of elevation gain.
And you really picked it up. I was really proud of you and surprised and happy. It's because you're an athlete and your legs are like a mile long and we're very strong people, so... And
I used to rollerblade.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that, and biking, I think also. Like my ability...
With the balance,
Yeah, the balance.
But not with like the footwork. I feel like skiing is almost exclusively footwork and core
it was kind of awkward at first, because I did have to like... you said that thing about me picking my feet up to like turn right. Going left was easy, because your right foot's in front, but then going right is harder, because your left foot's in front. And that's a little bit of a unnatural feeling for me. Skiing is not super intuitive, but if you do it enough, it starts to make sense.
Yeah.
Especially...
And if you have previous experience with either rollerblading, ice skating, I guess biking helps in like the balance aspect of it. But
I did fall a lot, though.
But we had so much fun.
Yeah, it was great.
We had some beers, we had a pretzel,
mm-hmm.
we did some greens and blues.
Yeah.
We started on the bunny hill, but then you were like, let's do it. And I was like, yeah. So I was really happy, too. It was a really fun day. I feel like we were on the same level by the end of the day.
Uh-huh.
And then we went again on Friday night with my dad, which unfortunately it was pretty crowded because it was the holiday weekend.
And it was like,
Day,
we got there at 6 something, I think.
Yeah, it was kind of late and the hordes were showing up. We ended up waiting in line most of the time for the lifts,
But your dad was not fucking around. He was a little bit more gung ho about doing some more challenging routes.
Oh yeah, he was like, I'm totally gonna go on the double black diamond. I was like, I'm not. No way.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't think we did any greens after like the first go.
Yeah.
I think we did. Yeah. I think we did Scarab and did the Nile Mile.
Yeah.
Once or twice.
It was really fun.
It was.
I really enjoyed it, and going with Dad was fun because he knows like the mountain.
Yeah.
And the experience, so we're just kind of tagging along, but...
Yeah, I think the most memorable thing that he said to me was, like, if you're able to stop if you know how to stop on any of the slopes, it gives you a real good feeling of control and confidence.
Yeah,
and
that's
ability.
when you know how to ski.
Yeah. Yeah, being able to stop is crucial to feeling comfortable with the whole experience.
You're going downhill, so that's like pretty much the only key ingredient into feeling competent.
Yeah, for sure.
Know how to stop.
It's cold in here.
I know it is. There's a ton of down
Blanquitos.
stuff. Yeah.
I
want to go out though.
We will.
Alright. But yeah, we did that. And before we went on Friday, we went for a snow hike up Mount Tammany in New Jersey on the Delaware Water Gap side, or the Jersey side of the Delaware Water Gap, and it was really cool. Trail was broken in, so we just kind of walked on the path.
But it was probably like over a foot of snow.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, that trail is so rocky in the summertime. It's like the Mincy side. It's like the AT in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Rocksylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
hard to
we
imagine.
were just like floating at a foot above all of that, but we did have micro spikes, which helped with traction.
Yeah,
and it was a really enjoyable hike.
Yeah, it was.
I would say.
It was pretty
view
busy
from the top. And it was like 4 miles, but it took us like 2 hours because snow hiking is hard.
Yeah, it's
not
slow.
as hard as the swamp, but
No.
we weren't breaking the trail, so it was a different experience.
Breaking trail with Coyote Peters. That hurt so bad. Yeah.
But yeah, and then the rest of the 2 days we kind of just
Saturday
days.
we went to the ice festival.
Oh yeah, we went to an ice festival. We did all the fucking winter sports, all the winter activities.
Yeah.
We went to an ice festival.
Yep.
It was weird. We just kind of walked around.
It was very cold.
Yeah.
I think you were underdressed.
Yeah, it was really cold. Kind of mad.
But yeah, we went to a few stores. Condoms galore.
Condoms galore.
.com. Yeah. Got some spiked cider, which you liked a lot.
Yeah, I did.
That was nice. Met up with Jared.
Yeah.
Jacob and Taylor. They were there.
And then met up with Casey for lunch.
That was cool.
The Thai food place. The best Thai food in the USA. Thai Orchid, East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania.
If you're not stuck in Chambersburg.
You keep calling it Chamberg.
Because I feel like Chambersburg is too sloppy of a name.
It's the same as like Harrisburg.
That's true. Symbolically, yeah.
What is that? Oh,
In terms of syllables, yeah. But yeah,
Montgomery.
This dumbass place is going to have a new spot in our heart. Just like Great Bend.
Yeah, it's almost exactly the same as Great Bend.
Yeah.
Because we're stranded here. We can't go anywhere because our vehicle's broken. There's a huge snow threat on the horizon, or like winter storm.
I don't even know if we knew that at the time when we got there.
Oh, we totally didn't.
Yeah.
No. We just woke up one morning and it was like 8 degrees, and we were like, whoa.
And then it snowed a ton.
Yeah.
Like
Not
half
really.
a foot.
It was like, no.
You don't
no
think so?
way. It was like
maybe
3
4
inches. Maybe.
Okay.
And it was just cold. It was so cold.
It was very cold.
I don't know. I guess it did actively snow when we were there.
It did. It definitely did. Because there was no snow when we got there. Well...
I don't remember. But also it was October, so that was pretty crazy too. It was definitely like a cold snap.
Yeah.
Here we are again, like still stuck in the winter, which kind of sucks.
We were trying to escape it.
Yeah.
We got off
get out.
the Florida Trail. We got off it too early, maybe. God bless all those poor souls out there.
All they have is rain, which is equally sucky.
Yeah, and it's still cold down there. It's like in the 50s. And
really?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
no, not jealous. I would prefer to be in my down sleeping bag in the van in the snow rather than the rain in Florida. Even if it is like 60 degrees, I don't care.
I'm going to see what the weather is in Tallahassee, just as a general idea of the Panhandle. Because when we were there, it was wet and cold.
It was freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on and off. The rain would come in, it would get warm, but you'd be wet. Then the rain would go out, and then you'd be fucking cold. Fucking cold.
It was like 42 was the high, I think, when we were there one of the days.
Really?
Like that
in
day
Tallahassee?
we left for McDonald's.
Oh yeah, that was cold.
King, it was freezing.
That Burger King sucked.
It was horrible.
Man, that was such a sorry excuse for a breakfast. That was the right place to go for the mood. That was the
and
vibe.
we almost got hit by a truck biking through Tallahassee. I was so mad, and I kept getting so hot because I dressed too warm.
Yeah.
That was a terrible time. So, I don't care that we're out of Florida and we're done the Florida Trail. I don't care. It sucks.
We're done the Florida Trail.
We're already past it.
Yeah.
Long past it. Mm-hmm. But honestly, it's probably only been 3 weeks? Maybe less?
Oh, yeah, probably less. I mean...
That's crazy.
Yeah, maybe a week and a half, honestly.
No way. Really?
I don't know.
Let's check the real historical data. Instagram.
I have pictures of us at the sign.
Terminus?
Yeah. That was...
February 7th.
So that was 10 days ago?
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. That's insane.
That is insane.
Wow.
Beer
That's
me.
so crazy.
Lord, bear me strength.
What an interesting time it's been.
Yeah.
But it's been good overall. 100% fun.
And
Except for this part. Kind of sucks that the van's broken and we're just dumping useless amounts of money into it.
Yeah.
But
we're hoping that the guys here help us out and kind of take the onus of responsibility for the repair on themselves.
The repair failure.
I mean, I would pay a marginal amount of money for them to keep doing stuff.
Seriously?
I would pay up to $200.
Dude, no. If I were a more, bold, outspoken person, I would walk up to the register guy and I would be like, you tried to fix my vehicle, we went down the road, it broke again and put us in a lot of danger again, and it was from your quote-unquote repair that put us in that position. We had to get towed, spend $230 to get towed back to your fucking shop. You promised that you would fix it again. I want half my money back from the previous repair, and I want the next repair complimentary.
I guess I've just been... maybe it's because I've actually been in the service industry before.
So have I. That's the only jobs I've ever had. And I've had people do that to me, and I'm just like, okay, I worked for this big corporate company that makes millions and millions of dollars. I don't care if you get your fucking ski lift ticket for half price. I literally don't care at all.
But do you want the person to come up to you with that attitude?
No, not at all.
Right.
But, it was their fault. They said they fixed it, and they said we would be good to drive down to Georgia.
Well...
And we got 20 miles down the road, and we could have crashed our car and been killed.
I think with the information that they had available, they tried to forecast their feelings of what we could do based on the information that they had.
I know, and that's fine. I mean, I'm saying if I were an angry Long Island white mom, that's how I would approach the situation. But I'm not. So, they were nice people. They did their best, but it didn't work. So, they need to fix it.
Holy shit.
They need to do something about it.
In Tallahassee, on Friday, it's going to be 33 degrees.
Oof.
Saturday, my mom's birthday.
That is horrible.
35. I just can't do that, because unless I really feel offended by what has happened, I can't...
Oh, well, I know.
And so I just don't have
I know. I don't think either of us would approach that situation. But in my mind, I'm like, dang, they should give us your money back. Well, that's kind of absurd.
Kind of, though. Because it's kind of like a doctor, though.
Yeah.
You work with
But what if you paid thousands of dollars to, get a tumor removed?
Yeah.
And then 3 weeks later, it's growing back. You're like, damn it.
I mean,
you wouldn't demand money back, but
yeah.
You would hope that the care in the future is more complete and more
Right. Circumspect.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the best...
It's just a lot of money, and it's kind of a shame.
Yeah, but I think they're going to work with us, and I think the better we approach it and the more equitable that we are to everything.
Yeah. I know that. I would never say that to them. I would never do what I am thinking.
Right, but I'm not even thinking that.
But also, don't pay $600 to repair the same wheel bearing that went out after 20 miles.
I'm not planning on doing that.
Well, they might try to pull that on you, so I think we just need to be prepared to fight for our rights.
To party? I don't know. I feel like they're going to work with us, and the more reasonable and
level-headed.
Yeah, emotionally neutral.
I know that.
Yeah.
But also don't be a bitch. And don't let them walk all over you.
No, I'm not going to do that, because that's
stealing your money.
If I feel like I'm being walked over, then I will get mad and I will say things that are eloquently vicious and I want to say vociferous. But yeah, we'll figure all that out tomorrow. Yeah. But I think that they have an obligation just because of the public image. The fact that guy cared so much about us making a Google review of their shop. I think they're going to try to help us out so that we don't say some shit about them.
Right, yeah. Because they are a corporate company that is reliant on hire people in higher positions, and they don't want to get fired, so gotta make the customers happy. The customer is always right.
That's true. The subtext of that is that the customer is a fucking dumbass, and you have to get them out of there as happy as you can make them so that they don't shit all over you and give you bad publicity.
Yeah, but the point for us is to have a fucking wheel that
doesn't
spins
fall
correctly.
off. Yeah.
It's not that hard. It's like the oldest invention ever.
Yeah,
the
right.
Wheel, so
yeah.
like it shouldn't be that hard.
Right. Well, there's something wrong with the
Roasted.
van.
Mr. Tire, get with it.
Fuck you, Mr. Tire.
But no, they have been nice and they have been accommodating. So
yeah, I mean they're letting
we'll
us stay in their parking lot too.
Holds. Yeah.
So Sunday. Today's Wednesday. How did we even kill that much time? I know what we did yesterday, but
Sunday, I don't remember. We kind of we packed on Sunday. I went through like my
a little
stuff.
bit, yeah.
I did a lot of organization. I had some belongings that were at my parents' house that I had sent home from Florida, and I was kind of just like regrouping all my shit, which was really nice because I needed to do that, and I was looking forward to doing that, and I feel that it has been completed.
Yeah, you got all your stuff.
So I got my stuff, which is not that much stuff because we live in a van.
Yeah.
But I did some downsizing, I organized, and then...
I don't remember anything about Sunday.
Well, that's what I did on Sunday. We probably, like, took Barney for a walk.
Maybe.
Barney! I miss him. He's so cute. He had a little episode. I hope he's not sick. Send your prayers Barney's way. BarneyEsbin.com. Pray for him. He has COVID.
Lol.
I think. And head tremors.
Yeah, idiopathic head tremors, yeah.
But he's not, like, ill. He's
no.
just... He seemed weird for a little bit, but it passed over. I'm mostly joking. He's fine. He's in perfect health. But he is, like, 7 years old. So he's
got a lot of ailments already.
Yeah, he's fat. He's
obese.
Fat.
His eye doesn't work. One eye doesn't work.
His
and
foot is twisted.
Yeah, he's got a twisty foot.
But he is an angel, and he is like the cornerstone of my family.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's gonna
he needs to live for at least 8 more years for us to be satisfied with his existence.
Yeah, your whole family's gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
So what did we do Monday?
I think we just chilled.
We chilled on Monday. We've been watching Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah.
I think maybe Monday was the day that we finished season 3. It was.
Maybe.
Because we did not watch any of it yesterday, and yesterday was Tuesday.
Right, yeah, because we finished it.
Uh-huh. So Stranger Things was watched, we enjoyed it.
And we, cook. Oh, I cooked.
You did cooks.
You...
Did some stuff to the van.
Did your podcast stuff.
Oh, yeah, I did upload a bunch of podcasts to the YouTube channel. So now if
Not
you want
our podcast, though, so...
No. These are old shit.
Old shit.
Yeah, this is like a podcast I had called Jesus Charlie, which was very... I probably did that for 2 months. Another podcast called Territories, which Lindsay and I did for... I don't know. Maybe about the same amount of time. And then Week in Review, which Jake and I did for about a year. So that was definitely another side project. And then Tuesday, that was yesterday, we hung out. We saw your friend Casey again.
Yes.
Got some treats.
A meetup.
The Delaware Water Gap.
Yes.
What's the temperature in here? It feels way colder than it did.
It's 50.
Really? That's warmer. That's warmer than it was.
That's what it says.
Wow.
Don't be mad.
I'm not mad, but I'm just disappointed. And then we hung out with Jared and your family, and we played sevens.
We learned a new fun card game.
Yeah, Compton went to play it with you, although it's supposed to be bad with 3 people.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, maybe he'll bring a friend or meet a friend.
Wow. What? We should call him.
I know. But we should go first. It's 8:20 already.
Schult.
That's insane.
Insane in the brain. Insane in the brain.
But it's been a fun time. We had our fill of winter activities, and now we're just desperately trying to get back to the warmth, which apparently doesn't exist anywhere.
Nowhere.
In the USA currently.
No fucking... Austin, Texas
Even
is
Austin.
fucking... It's got
It's like 11 degrees there. They have snow and ice, and they're all crashing their cars and dying, and... Man. I mean, honestly, I was saying earlier, maybe this is, like, for the better, because all of our plans will be, like... maybe a week or two delayed, and that will help the cold weather to move out of places like Florida and Texas, these places where we're supposed to be, like, enjoying the warmth and, like, doing things that are outside. But if it's snowing, if there's ice on the ground, I can't ride my bike. I'm not going to ride my bike. It's going to be terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, that's something else we did. You made the routes for the...
Yeah, for the Texas Hill Country...
a.k.a. THC loop.
THC?
I love that. Texas Hill Country.
Brett.
THC.
Brett, are you listening? We're going to Texas. We're going to be close to Denton.
Kind of.
Closer
maybe.
than we are now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did make the routes for that.
Yeah, that's generally the plan for, I guess, next month, early next month.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
If it warms up, because they've been having a crazy cold
It's supposed
snap.
to be in the 60s at the end of the week.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean,
that snow better be gone. I do not want to see an ounce of white snow or
You want to see
ice
an ounce of green?
I don't have an ounce of a quarter for $120.
That was another thing you did.
Oh, yes, I got my official Pennsylvania registered Department of Medical Marijuana card. So for those of you that hate on me for smoking weed,
there's a lot of them.
It's legal.
Yeah, suck it.
It's legal, at least in Pennsylvania, and I have a card to prove it soon.
Barely legal.
It's in the mail.
Yeah, another strike.
But it was an interesting process. But I had an interview. I filled out a lot of forms. I lied a little.
Yeah.
But
that might be omitted.
But it's
from the
bullshit.
rest.
It's total bullshit. The whole process, like, it's going to be legal, I would say probably nationwide in the next, like, 10 years.
It could be under Biden's administration.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, this... Oh, God. It was totally insane, because I got online quote-unquote doctor, and she was like, you need to change some things in your profile for me to legitimize it on the state website. And I was like, okay. And that was, like, all I had to do. I didn't have to explain my chronic pain or my PMS symptoms or anything.
You just had to lie.
I just had to lie.
Click a box.
Because I'm a recreational cannabis user. And that's the majority of people who get their medical cards in any state. And so I just had to go through all of this, like, bureaucratic bullshit.
Rigmarole.
Just to... And money. It cost me, like...
$250 bucks?
$250 to get the card itself, and then $120 for the actual product. So... I spent like over $350 for a pathetic amount of very dry, low THC cannabis.
Yeah.
I miss Oregon and California, or Colorado.
An ounce for $100.
Yeah,
that's the way
90.
it should be.
That's the way it's gonna be. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm gonna keep my med card just for, like, fucking
cops.
Retro vibes.
Retro.
Oh, well, yeah, for cops. I mostly wanted to get it as a safeguard. Because I usually do carry, and if the situation would ever arise that we are searched and product is found, I'll just play dumb, and I'll be like, oh, but I'm registered, I have chronic pain, and I had an appointment with an approved doctor in Pennsylvania, and they gave me this medical card, so I'm, like, legally allowed to carry it, right? And they'll be like, no, not in the state of Texas.
And just start crying.
We're going to send you to jail.
If you cry,
like,
the cops will be like, oh.
It's for my PMS.
Mm-hmm.
But it was an interesting process. It was pretty funny. Don't really care. But it is nice that I will have it.
Yeah.
So,
well,
yeah, I'm legal, y'all.
And I hope that Midas, when we got the oil change, where you started doing your card, they were supposed to give us a courtesy check. And
oh my God,
I don't know if they did. I would think that they would go through. I mean,
they should have checked their fucking wheel bearings that they replaced like 4 months ago.
They replaced the rotors and the wheel bearings. Like they replaced.
What are the rotors? What if those go out next?
Rotors don't go out.
What are rotors?
Rotors.
Or is that for brakes?
Yeah.
Okay. It's the thing that's...
It's the disc. Like
Yeah.
the disc for the
Right.
bike, yeah.
And then the pads
I mean, they
go on it
yeah,
to stop it.
it's just like a bike, yeah. I mean, they can go out, but our rotors they're less than 8 months old because we had...
Well, they might have been like grinding on some other kind
They
of
could've,
metal.
yeah.
because
I mean,
our wheels aren't even on right.
When the technician here showed me the brake pads, I mean, I think the inside brake pad was like 80% worn, and then like the outside brake pad was like well, reverse that. Does it?
Do you think it does?
No.
It's like a weird aftertaste. It's fine. But yeah, there's a lot of
It just tastes like
drama
shit.
with
Yeah.
the van.
Yeah.
And we're here
Thanks,
in
Kevin.
Chambersburg, PA,
Ugh.
in our
You
van.
might be stuck here for 2 or 3 days.
It's gonna be pretty dramatic when we wake up in the morning, I think. There's gonna be
Yeah.
at least 4 or 5 inches of snow.
Yeah.
Potential ice. It's supposed to turn to freezing rain.
Yeah.
Up to 9 inches. Which
Insane.
Is
That's
3
a lot.
less than a foot.
3 less than a foot.
So.
No one can take 9 inches.
Not true.
Except Cardi B.
Why?
Because she's got the walk.
She had a baby?
Well, she's got Offset. Shout out to Offset.
Oh my god.
I'm going to keep that going.
Oh, that's so funny.
But
we'll see how the next couple days play out.
yeah.
It'll be an adventure.
Yeah.
We'll have fun. We always make the best of bad situations.
We do.
Unless I don't, because sometimes I get emotional about it. But this time is fun.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
Yeah, it's not a big deal, but it's
We
just
don't
like...
have any kind of timetable. Like, no one's... I mean...
My parents kind of,
Well,
but...
yeah, but it's not like a job.
No.
Or like something extremely important.
Yeah, it's not a
to
life-death
us.
situation,
Yeah.
for sure.
So, we're just going with the flow, man.
Yeah, man.
Spending all our money on this stupid van.
Damn. Yeah,
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
it is. I hope they help us out.
And I hope that your insurance covers that tow, because that was crazy expensive. It was only like 20 miles.
Yeah. Well, it was... I think the other tow was even more.
Oh, I'm sure it was. It's probably like 400 or something. Or no, it was 300.
Was it?
311 or like 330 or something.
311 sounds familiar, because
Yeah.
that's the
I
band.
remember you submitting that.
Let me see real quick.
But yeah, can't believe we're here. Can't believe that this happened today. But thankful, like I said to my brother, that we're spending the night in an auto repair parking lot instead of the morgue.
Yeah.
Because this could have been so much worse.
Yeah.
If the wheel fell off when we were going 70 miles an hour, like, Jesus Christ. We would have
Jeepers
died.
Crips, yeah.
We would have veered off into the bank or a semi or just, like, crashed. And, like, we're so close to the front of the car, there's no way that we would have survived. It, like, the engine wouldn't have protected us or anything like
No.
regular cars, because the engine is literally in with us.
Yeah.
All of our belongings are in here. Our whole life is in here. So,
It was $300.
yeah. Dang. And this one was $230. It must be location.
I think so. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Just
this
like
is
Subway.
sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
It's
all
dependent on
franchises.
location.
Yeah. Well,
The adventure continues. Vanlyfe Part 2 is off to a
Season
great
2.
start.
yep. This is exactly
It's a really
what.
good sign for our future in this van.
So stop having babies, stop getting married, stop buying houses, buy a van, and then
Aw.
you can waste all your money that you would spend on your spouse and your child, making your van work.
But yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Mhm.
Should be an interesting time.
And you'll hear all about it.
Yup. Because we'll
Akon.
get drunk tomorrow night and talk about it for an hour.
Yep.
Just like tonight.
Hell
Alright,
yeah.
bye.
All right. Bye.